All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 638 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And today, we're going to talk about the depth chart. The Falcons released the first 2023 depth chart. It is unofficial, but it is on the website as well. So we're going to go through this entire depth chart. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on who's where and what's going on. So if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, the depth chart will be on the screen. But if you're on the other avenues, the audio avenues, the podcast avenues, I will be talking about them, and you will hear me talk about them out loud as usual. And we're just going to get right into it. As far as the joint practice of the Dolphins and the Falcons, Clark Phillips had an injury, but it sounds like he's going to be day to day, so that's good. Trey Flowers, there was a clip of Trey Flowers actually having a little bit of trouble with Tyreek Hill, but who don't have trouble with that guy. So he's going to be a nightmare matchup for anybody. And then they have Jalen Waddle on the other side. So that's going to be really interesting to see how much playing time they get in the preseason and how much we're going to be really going up against those guys. It's going to be really, there's going to be something to watch. So that's going to be really cool. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. Also on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Google Podcasts. I'm also on X at VF Baller. And also the website is firstandframerates.com. So I'm not going to hold you guys up too much longer. Let's get right into this. The offense of the depth chart is going to go as follows. We're going to go straight into obviously the quarterback. Let's scroll down until we get to the quarterback. At the bottom, I don't know why they got this from the quarterback up instead of the quarterback top down. But nevertheless, Desmond Ridder is QB1. And you got Taylor Heineke and Logan Woodside. I don't know how much they're going to be playing in the preseason, so don't take this for what it is. Like I said, this is basically unofficial, so we don't know what's really going on here. But with that being said, we should get some type of little bit of playing time out of what these guys are capable of doing. We may get some. I don't know. But just with the whole situation with Desmond Ridder being QB1, he may do I'm guessing maybe a series or two. But that's just my guess. So we got Desmond Ridder QB1, Taylor Heineke, and Logan Woodside. And I almost forgot about Logan Woodside, to be honest. Look at the running back situation though. Cordell Patterson is RB1, Tyler Algier is 2, and Bijan Robinson is number 3. Kind of surprising, but if you really look at it under the surface, it's not. When you look at the Falcons, they don't usually have rookies like play right away. I mean, that's kind of been like a trend for a while now with the Falcons since Arthur Smith took over. You rarely get to see, rookies play right away. And when you do get to see them play right away, it's kind of surprising, and it hasn't garnered good results. Now, I'm not trying to put Bijan Robinson on the level of like a Jalen Mayfield or whatever, because that's not the case. But, Coach Arthur Smith's always been preaching about stringing guys along, building them up as far as rookies so they'll learn the game. That's why Desmond Ridder took so long to get in the game. That's why you've seen others like Drake London. He kind of got late into the game as well. So it is he also had an injury too, so it's kind of a little bit different with that. But nevertheless, this is what we got going on. So not too bad. Carlos Washington and Godwin Egan. I don't even want to pronounce that because I don't want to mess up his name. I want to apologize. But you got 5 running backs. Keith Smith is at fullback and got Clint Rakovich. Drake London is your number 1 receiver with Scotty Miller, Josh Ali, Penny Hart, Slade Bolden, Max Sexton, and Xavier Malone. I've heard some good things about Slade Bolden and Penny Hart, so that's going to be pretty cool to see there. And on one side of the tight end spectrum, you have Jonnu Smith, Michael Pruitt, Tusker Fisk. And on the other side, you see up here at the top, you got Pitts, Parker Hesse, and John Fitzpatrick. We got some really good tight ends. All 6 of these guys are actually pretty decent. So that's pretty cool to have. And when you look at the offensive linemen, you have Caleb McGarry at right tackle, Jake Matthews at left tackle, Matt Hennessy at left guard, Chris Lindstrom at right guard, Drew Dahlman is the center, and notable guys that are in the that's backups. You got Jalen Mayfield behind Caleb McGarry You got Matt Bergeron behind Matt Hennessy, and you got Jonathan Wynn behind Ryan Newsel and Drew Dahlman. Everybody else, you got Justin Schaefer, which is, to be honest with you, I didn't know if he was still on the team or not because I've heard some rumblings about him being on the practice squad, but nevertheless, he's here. And it's always good to have these guys around for the preseason to see what they can do. Maybe they'll be on the 53-man roster. Also on the other side of the receivers, you have Mac Hollins, Kadero Hodge, Frank Darby, JJ Arcega-Whiteside, and Keelan Harris. Interesting. Those three guys back there are reserves. Frank Darby has been showing some promise throughout the training camp, so maybe he can make a name for himself to be wide receiver number 5. Because you look at the other guys down here, you got at the wide receivers, you have Scotty Miller, Josh Ali, and basically it's really interesting when you look at this as well. Scotty Miller is behind Drake London as wide receiver number 1, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. If anything happens, Mac Hollins will move over to the other side to be wide receiver 1. But overall, the offense do look pretty. It looks pretty respectable. Don't look bad at all. Now let's jump down into the defense. We're going to start at the defensive linemen. We got 3 down linemen, and you got Grady Jarrett, Adamaya, and Calais Campbell. Those guys are going to be on the offensive line. Outside linebackers, look like we're running a 3-4, and with the 3-4, we're going to have I think it's more of a hybrid, to be honest. And then you have Bud Dupree on the outside, Caden Ellis and Troy Anderson, and Arnold Ebiketie on the other side. Now, they put Arnold Ebiketie as a stand-up linebacker. That's really interesting to see how that's going to play out because he's been really good as a hand in the dirt defensive lineman. But I'm pretty sure that, they know best, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be fine there anyway. So that's pretty cool to see. When you look at this front 7 right here, this is a pretty good looking front 7. Lorenzo Carde is going to be on the other, be backup for Bud Dupree. Michael Walker is behind Caden Ellis. Nate Landman, that's a guy that nobody's really been talking about. Him and Ogundeji has kind of been in the back, not really been talking about him as well. But those guys that's backing up, all 4, from Carter down to Ogundeji, they can easily could be a starter if need be. So we got a really good, we got really good guys up here on the defensive front. And the other down linemen, you can have Timmy Horn, Taquan Graham, Joe Gaziano. But there's somebody that we need to be talking about, and I talked about him on an early episode, is Zach Harrison. He's behind Joe Gaziano. Look, this kid here, I believe he's going to jump out of the reserves and take Joe Gaziano's spot. That is my gut feeling. He may, take in Timmy Horn's spot. Zach Harrison has shown up big time, and you're probably looking at the heir apparent to Calais Campbell right here, because if he keeps on the path that he's going to be forced to reckon with. And I love the fact that they found this talent in the 3rd round, because I knew not much about him until he started, causing a lot of problems within in training camp. So really cool to see that even though he's reserved, that just goes back to what I'm telling you about these a lot of these rookies. They don't play right away under Arthur Smith. They just don't. So you'll see him, if he continues to improve, you'll probably see more of him in the rotation. Now, when we look at the secondary, we're right here in the secondary. We got AJ Terrell, Cornell Armstrong, Beyond Borders, Natron Brooks. And on the other side, you got Jeff Okuda, Trey Flowers, and Darren Hall, which that's going to change because Jeff Okuda's injured. So you're probably going to have Trey Flowers come in that spot. I mean, obviously, that's what they've been doing in practice today. And nickelback, you got D. Alford, Mike Hughes, and Clark Phillips, which I believe Clark Phillips could be an outside corner. But like I said, these rookies, they don't play right away. That's just how it goes. Safeties, you got Jesse Bates and Richie Grant, which might be one of the 2 best safety duos that we've had in a long time. I do love Thomas Deku and Willie Moe, and I don't think they're going to be able to. You never know. They may be able to step up and live up to that hype, because Deku and Willie Moe was good, but Jesse Bates and Richie Grant has talent as well. So filling out the rest of the roster, you had Jalen Hawkins behind Jesse Bates and DeMarco Hellman, which is another rookie. So don't take too much of that if he's that far back. He's basically in the same place where Clark Phillips is. Darren Hall is behind Trey Flowers. Darren Hall, wasn't he the one? No, I don't think he was the one that got hurt. No, I don't think so. I could be wrong. You got Micah Abernathy behind Rich Grant and Luca Dennis and Cliff Chapman. And like I said, Mike Hughes is behind D. Alford. Special teams, last but not least, some of the best guys in the business. Got Younghoe Koo and Bradley Pinion. And also at kick return, we have Mike Hughes because, our original kick return, punt returner was hurt. But we still got Cordell Patterson to kick off on return. So that's really interesting because Cordell Patterson knows what he's doing back there. Long snapper is Leon McCullough. And we got Penny Hart and Scotty Miller backing up Mike Hughes in the punt return, in a punt return game. So that's basically the unofficial depth chart for 2023. You can find this on the Atlanta Falcons website. Just go straight to AtlantaFalcons.com. It'll be easy to find. And that's pretty much it. My final thoughts on the depth chart, not much. It was somewhat of a surprise a little bit that Bijan Robinson was, third on the depth chart when you really think about it because he's been doing so well. But like I said, when you go back and look at the track record of Arthur Smith, he does not really put rookies that high up right away unless they really, really need to. So let me know what you guys think. Outside of that, everything else is good. I don't see anything that's a head scratcher. Even though it's unofficial, it looks very solid. And it is on the Falcons website, so it does mean something, right? I guess so. If you like this commentary, the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think, man. What do you think about the depth chart? I think it's pretty solid, not too bad. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, also on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Subscribe to any of those avenues. I highly recommend you subscribe more than one because of the fact one of these avenues tend to go down every now and then. It's just how technology is sometimes. Sometimes YouTube takes forever to upload a video. It's really weird. Like I said, I can be found on Twitter or X at VFBaller, and the website is firstandframerates.com. I'm going to get up out of here, y'all. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Y'all can take it easy, and y'all be blessed. Peace.